The Nigerian Stock Exchange now has an upgraded version of its issuers portal, technically known as X-Issuer. This is a web-based portal put together by the quasi-regulator to enable companies file their quarterly and annual financial results in an electronic format to the exchange. According to the NSE now, the upgraded portal comes with improved features and functionalities aimed at enhancing compliance with regulatory experience for companies. For the Executive Director, Regulations Division at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Ms. Tinuade, joins us now to tell us more about what has changed on the X-Issuers program and other matters arising in the post-listing initiative of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. Good morning, Ms. Awe. Thanks for joining us on the program. Well, since the lockdown, the Nigerian Stock Exchange is one of the regulators that has activated an effective business continuity plan. Is that the precursor to the upgrade of the X-Issuer portal?
Thank you very much for having me. The X-Issuer portal is actually a portal that we've had since 2013, and what we've done is an upgrade to it. We have been open for business since the lockdown. We've been trading seamlessly as any market should do, and that's because we prepared for the proverbial rainy day. We have a very robust business continuity program at the exchange, which we tried and we tested several times. And so when the incidents and all the challenges around the coronavirus started to reflect themselves, we immediately implemented our business continuity program to enable us to be able to be resilient and do what we're doing as normal, even with the challenges. And so what we did was, about a week before the official lockdown at the end of March of 2020, we had already taken decisions in the office that we were going to temporarily close down our trading floors and give all our traders the opportunity to trade remotely. And the reason why we were able to do that is because we have all the systems that allow remote trading. We have a very super trading engine known as XGen, which we've had since 2013, and that trading system enables remote trading. We had traders already on remote trading, and so we transferred the remaining ones onto remote trading facilities as well. And we've been trading seamlessly and doing all the things that we will normally do in a virtual fashion. Now, specifically on X-Issuer 2, X-Issuer 2, as I said before, we had X-Issuer 1, which is a 2013 system. X-Issuer 2 is an upgrade on X-Issuer 1. It is a secure web-based portal that allows our issuers and others who have products listed on the exchange to communicate with us remotely. And that communication is by way of whatever it is that they're supposed to communicate to the investing public and to the exchange. Let me be specific. So financials, for example, which companies, as listed companies, are supposed to file with the exchange. Since 2013, they filed them through the X-Issuer 1. In X-Issuer 2, they now have a more customer-centric system that is easy to use. The interfaces are more customer-friendly, and they also have a number of other channels. For example, we now have a release calendar channel. What does the release calendar allow a company to do? It allows it to put its calendar of future events into the system, and they flow directly to our website so that the investing public and others who are interested in the information can get it from there and therefore make the types of decisions that they need to make about that information. It also has a number of other upgrades, such as with directors and other insiders dealing, to enable that to flow straight from the portal to our trading system as well as our website. We have upgrades around the earnings forecast channels and a number of other initiatives that allow the entire experience of getting information to the market to be a seamless one and to be a quick one. The information asymmetry is therefore extremely reduced because it's real time and it flows directly, and the people who need to use the information are able to get the information quickly. In this regard, of course, I will say that the exchange, this is not the only initiative that the exchange has put out in the recent past, even during all the restrictions that are associated with the coronavirus. You may know that we recently launched a data portal as well, and we recently launched an initiative with a system called Sentry GRC for entities that want to that have to deal with governance, risk, and compliance issues, to help them to appropriately to be able to do that within the context of a one system. The data portal is extremely important because it helps for people to get the market data that they need, whether they need that data real time or they need historical data, they need index data. Data, as you know, is the highway on which the capital market works. And we're very, very keen as an exchange to ensure that, notwithstanding the challenges, we're resilient and able to produce these upgrades for those that need them.
Ms. Awe, we would also like to know how the X-issuer will improve the experience of issuers with the exchange and, of course, its impact on market integrity.
Okay. So I think I touched on the very first one, the information asymmetry. So what markets always try to do is to reduce the asymmetry between those that own the company and those that are stakeholders in the company. And one of the things that the upgrade does is to ensure that issuers are able to send even more information and able to send it in a way that is easily assimilated by the market. So a CFO or a company secretary or their duly accredited staff can get on the system and push out the release calendar of the company, and almost immediately it gets to the market. They can get onto the system and push out information about the trading by insiders. Almost immediately it gets to the market. They get out and they push information about other things that the company is doing with respect to other forms of communication that the company wants individuals and corporate entities to know about, its stakeholders to know about. Seamlessly, that information gets added to our trading engine so that brokers and other users of the market can use it immediately, or it gets onto our website so that even students, academics, anybody that is interested in information about the company has access to it. So it helps the company to fulfill its post-listing obligations around disclosure. It helps it to fulfill the obligations under the Nigerian Code of Corporate Governance. You know that there's a principle around communication with your stakeholders. There's another principle around disclosure. These are key things that X-issuer helps the entities that are using this system to do. Another thing, fund managers who have funds listed on the exchange also now have access to X-issuer, which they didn't have with X-issuer X-issuer version 1. They now have access through X-issuer to push out information, critical information about their funds, pricing, other information that people will be interested in about those funds to the market.
Okay, so how aligned? Okay, I was asking, how aligned are these new features with the recent Code of Corporate Governance Code guidelines of the Financial Reporting Council of Nigeria, which the NSE is in support of?
They are completely aligned, as I said in my prior answer. You know, under that code, there are principles to do with communication with stakeholders. This is perfectly aligned. This is a perfectly aligned mode of communication with your stakeholders. A listed company gets onto its own account on the web portal, that is the X-issuer, and transmits information, and that information hits our website immediately upon transmission. Click of a button and it flows to the website. We have used automation to ensure that that company is able to comply with that principle of the code. There's also the disclosure principles of the code. Again, this system allows the companies to comply in a very, very easy fashion with those obligations. So we think it's all coming together, it's all working together, and it really helps to place Nigeria where it should be in the Committee of Nations, where there's governance in the market, where there's transparency, and where there's integrity in the market. And we think it's using technology to really the highest levels of what one would expect as an ethical human being.
Exchange has been recording more of primary market activities, especially on the debt capital side of things, with a total capital raise of over 968 billion naira since the lockdown. What factors would you say have contributed to these activities?
Well, I think one of the factors that have contributed to the activities, clearly that this is a good time for that market, the debt market, but also the fact that the market is open. If the market is not open, then you can't do that. And so what we've done is all our teams are working. So the physical doors of the exchange are currently open only to essential services because of the challenges caused by COVID-19. But the individuals who work in the exchange, like me and all of my colleagues, are working remotely. And it's technology and the resilience that we've built through our business continuity plan, which we've deployed seamlessly, that allows us to do that. The market is therefore able to take advantage of that because everything that we could do when our doors were open, we're able to do remotely. The reviewing of applications. So if you bring an application for the purpose of listing a fixed income transaction, we can deal with that. We deal with it remotely. We give you your approvals remotely. We communicate with you remotely. We list remotely. And, you know, we've even had closing gong events remotely. So we've basically used our business continuity to ensure that the market is open for business. And that is what the folks who want to raise capital by way of debt have done. And we're very pleased that they've been able to raise over 96 billion naira within this period of the lockdown.
Just actually talked about a series of virtual closing gongs that we've had amidst the lockdown and also the listing of bonds. Now, let's dwell on the listing of bonds now, and the latest being that of Lapo Microfinance Bank, which was about a 6.2 billion naira bond program seen last week. But are there possibilities of a company listing this period, and how's the exchange bracing up for that?
There's every possibility of a company listing during this period. As I said, our processes have been moved remotely. So all we need to do, we can still receive listing applications for equities. That's a company listing. We will review it. Our governance processes are ongoing. Indeed, you may know that about 2 months ago, the exchange released a thought leadership piece on remote meetings. So we ourselves are able to work remotely. Our council and the committees that are responsible for approving listing applications have been working remotely and meeting remotely. So if an application comes, the individuals in the relevant teams that appraise that application are able to appraise remotely. The governance process to approve that application is able to appraise remotely. The technology to list is, as I said, XGen is available remotely and has been that way since 2013. So we just deploy the processes and we get it done. This market is open for business, whether it's a fixed income or any other type of product. We have the ability to get it done. And we've shown that in the fixed income space. We've shown that in the closing gong ceremonies that we've done virtually. We've shown it in the facts behind the sustainability report event that we did involving Cotreville Business Solutions also recently. And so we're actually quite excited to show the world that we can still operate and that we're a resilient market, able to do all that we could do in physical terms and translate it seamlessly into remote terms.
Executive Director, Regulations Division at the Nigerian Stock Exchange, Ms. Tinuade, thanks for sharing your time with us.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.